Hello and welcome to today's edition of The Daily Beard. I'm Jason Fox, aka Lee Cloud's Beard, and today we are messing around with studio lighting and also discussing the tweet, adequate is to inadequate as flammable is to inflammable. Yes, this tweet is an ode to the SAT and to all those who have had to take this standardized test in America for these many, many years. If you are not a native English speaker, I will explain a bit about this tweet in English and possibly other languages, but I don't know other languages besides knowing how to ask where the ice cream parlor is in German, which does me no good. So in English, as far as I know, if you have a word and then you put the prefix in front of it, it becomes the opposite, an antonym, if you please. So flammable means easily set on fire, therefore you would think that inflammable means to be difficult to set on fire, much as conceivable and inconceivable are antonyms, or the opposite. But in the case of flammable and inflammable, they actually mean the same thing. Inflammable means easily caught on fire. This was very confusing to me as a child as I read the labels on the spray paint cans in my dad's garage cabinet, which I probably did a bit too often, but hey, I was a child of the 80s. We did what we wanted. So, adequate and inadequate. That means the meaning of this tweet is that adequate and inadequate are actually the same thing when it comes to the work. If you deem your work to be adequate, chances are, when it's put out into the real world, it is actually inadequate. It is very akin to the good is not good enough phrase that we like to throw about quite often. But it is true. In fact, I think it's even worse to call something adequate. Sometimes when you say something is good enough, you actually mean it's good enough, especially if you're from the Midwest, where we tend to downplay things. We might say it's good enough when it's actually fantastically awesome. That's just kind of how we are. Adequate is usually used in a derogatory sense. It might be okay to get an adequate amount of food when you go to the buffet, because you don't want to overindulge in the fried catfish or Jell-O salad. But do you want an adequate spouse? No, you do not. Similarly, you do not want adequate work. You want great work. Let us not set the goal of adequacy. That's just depressing, isn't it? Yes, it is. I'm Jason Fox. Have a good one.